guys, how's it going? MasterBucks here. I know I don't normally bless your sub boxes with these kinds of videos too often, but I'm just pointing it out that they are quite rare. But still, we've got ourselves a vlog today. As you may have gathered, or if you saw me on Twitter last weekend, I got up to some pretty awesome stuff, including going to see Chelsea versus Perth, a little pre-season friendly game, and the big one, I got to play FIFA 19 again, very fortunately, but I actually got to play in a little tournament with a couple of Chelsea players. Players such as Bakayoko, David Luiz, Olaina. That was absolutely sick, but of course the entire trip was awesome, so let's take it from the top.
Alright everyone, I've arrived here in Perth. I'm here in my hotel room, and of course, it's a vlog. I'm traveling, I'm staying in a hotel room, obligatory room tour. There's not a super amount to this, you know, desk, bed, all the usuals. It's a bit lived in at the moment, I know, I'm sorry, I've been here for a while, but of course, bathroom, which is actually quite fancy. If you feel like taking a bath, hey, you can take a bath. If you want to take a shower, you can take a shower. I just want to say too, by the way, that this shower head is the best thing on the planet. But you know, I mean, I'd say the best thing about this hotel room is the view. Let me just get these shears open if you don't mind. Oh, take a look at this. If you don't mind Perth, you've bloody put on for me. How about this? It's quite a ways in the distance, but that right there is Optus Stadium, a brand new stadium where they're going to be playing the game. Sorry to any Perth fans watching, I don't really know the name of this river, but over across there is the CBD as well. And a decent bridge. Look at that bridge.
So after we had settled down, we were in the hotel, the first thing that we got up to was a quick little personal tour of the brand new Optus Stadium. This is a brand new stadium that's been built only less than a year ago. It's got a capacity of about 60,000 and it was where Chelsea was going to be playing Perth. And yeah, it was a magnificent stadium. I mean, I've been all over the place to a whole bunch of different countries and gone to a bunch of different stadiums, and that was by far one of the best that I'd been to. After we were done with the stadium tour, we went back to the hotel for a quick little Chelsea signing that we got access to, and also a quick little photo op with the FA Cup. And let me just confirm for everybody watching that don't worry, Chelsea are taking very, very good care of the trophy for Newcastle United next season. But the day after was the big day. The day that I finally, after about a month or so since EA Play, was able to finally get my hands back on FIFA 19. The Chelsea players arrived shortly later and I was teaming up with Olaina. And this should give you a bit of an idea as to how the tournament went for us.
Oh my god. Is that happening?
How about that?
Hey, this could be a long afternoon, yo.
Back. Go on, you go finish that, son. Yes! Come on! So we're not out of this. We're not out of this. We can do this.
Hey, Baka, you scored, you know?
You. Finish that. Finish that. Oh! You're joking.
Whoa, button basher.
No way.
Try it.
Oh! Hey, that's a...
So Finesse is back.
Speechless.
Finesse is back.
Yeah!
Winner. That's got to be the winner. That's got to be the winner.
I know, we tried though.
Yeah, it's a bit different this year.
We tried,
okay. Oh, referee! Can't be doing that. Get out of here, man. What are you doing?
I trust you. Listen, he's gonna put this in the back of the net. I trust him. Easy.
Thank you.
Well done.
Thank you.
Good game.
Now listen, I don't have a bad word to say about Ola because the guy he's a top bloke. But the FIFA ability was let's just say it's a bit alarming when the guy's meant to be a defender and he keeps giving the ball away in his own third. Ola, if you're watching, don't worry, I've moved on past it, but let's just say it's a good thing you're better at football than FIFA. But anyway, after the bitter, crushing disappointment of how poorly we went in the tournament past, we had some more stuff to do. For example, we followed the Chelsea team to their training session, which was being held at a pretty famous stadium called the Wacker. It's basically this 100-plus-year-old cricket stadium, even longer than that has essentially been untouched. But Chelsea had an open training session at the Wacker, and we went out and followed them, and it's Yeah, the weather could have been a bit better. To be honest, the weather just could have been better for the entire trip, Perth. But yeah, what can you do? But after all that and a whole bunch of awesome stuff that I got up to in Perth, the day had arrived. The big pre-season friendly between Chelsea FC and Perth Glory. The stadium looked fantastic under lights, and even though the game was a bit, I don't know, was far from a thriller, we'll put it that way. It was fine. It was just the 1-0 victory for Chelsea, which they scored in the first 5 minutes, and then the rest of the game sort of petered out into kind of somewhat nothingness, but yeah, interesting. One thing that I did spot, or two things that I wanted to talk about, was that Chelsea were going back to a 4-3-3 formation, which, again, sorry ball, it's going to be very interesting to see how that's going to go. Obviously, Eden Hazard was not here, with mounting speculation that maybe he might be moving onward. If he does, prediction god, MasterBucks, yes, hello everybody, I'm going to say that there is maybe a very, very good chance that you're going to be seeing, or at least hearing, this man's name quite a fair bit. Callum Hudson-Odoi. In the first half, he was playing at left wing and he was doing phenomenally. I think he's like a 17-year-old youth academy prospect that's been promoted up by Maurizio Sarri, and I've got to be honest, he absolutely was torching a few of the defenders. And yes, before you put it in the comments, oh, it's only Perth, don't worry, he was still looking pretty decent. I think if Eden Hazard goes to Real Madrid or anywhere, if you know, the prospect of him moving happens, and obviously there's a space vacant at that left wing spot, you're probably going to see Hudson-Odoi actually starting and at least getting significant minutes. And who knows, he might end up impressing. I'm just saying, he looks like a young prospect that's got a lot to offer. Something else that I picked up as well, which I thought was very, very interesting, was Ross Barkley played in the second half as well, but he didn't play in the midfield. He didn't play like centre attacking midfield. They played him out on the left wing. So again, I saw Hudson-Odoi start at left wing, and I saw Ross Barkley start at left wing, and let's be honest, it went about as well as you probably thought it would. He didn't exactly light the game on fire in the second half when he was moved out to that side, but I just found it pretty interesting that they were playing Ross Barkley in that position. So again, if you see Ross Barkley popping up at left wing, you might find a few people quite surprised about that, but again, you heard it from me, Prediction God, that's what I saw at the game. We will just have to wait and see if Prediction God strikes again. If, you know, Callum Hudson-Odoi, I'm not saying he's going to be the next Neymar or anything, but, you know, just give him a chance. I just think he's got something up his sleeve this season. But that was pretty much the entire trip, guys. The next morning, we got essentially the first flight out of Perth, and that was about that. I'll give you some parting comments on FIFA 19 as well, since I'm sure that's probably what a lot of you have tuned in for. I have, again, not an awful lot to say about it that I haven't already said in my previous video where I played FIFA 19 for the first time. Yes, again, there have been changes made, but it's still difficult for me to really describe what I think has changed from the first time I played FIFA 19 to the second time. It's certain things that maybe have been tweaked particularly, they don't stand out an awful much. The whole shooting mechanic, the fact that it needs to be timed, and the better you time it, the better, the sweeter the shot is, and if you miscue it, it'll just shank off your foot. All of that, I'm still sort of even now getting used to be fair, and I've played the game now for about 10 or 15, I've played probably 10 or 15 matches now of FIFA 19 on separate builds, to be fair. I did play around and execute a couple of the skill moves. Like, did you see the, I genuinely don't know what it's called, but I managed to do it, and I don't even know how. I managed to do, you know, when you see a player stomp the ball down and it flies up off the ground. I somehow managed to do that in the game, but I don't know how. I did it once, and I was like, how did I do that? That looks awesome. But now, I would probably say if the builds are similar enough for me to say, if you really want my take on how FIFA 19 feels this year, then I highly recommend you go back. I'll probably put it somewhere up on screen, or maybe even a little pop-up right now, maybe, of my take on FIFA 19. I'll give you a bit of an in-depth analysis on how I feel about the game as it stands right now. And again, still susceptible to change with the fact that we're still a couple of months away from release. But that is going to be it for this one. Thank you everybody for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and until the next vlog video, FIFA 19 video, or whatever, don't forget to like and subscribe, and have a good one.